Welcome back. Welcome back once again to your number one source for education, information, and inspiration on what I feel is the most underrated career opportunity in business today. You should get a license. And this is the podcast edition. Really excited about this episode because, our guest is someone who, as I say, started from the bottom and now he's here. He got into the insurance industry, started as an agent with a large organization, one of the largest in the country, branched off in 2017, started his own agency and company based in Cleveland, Ohio. Prior to being in insurance, he was a lettered athlete, D1 football athlete and player at the University of Iowa and University of Toledo. After that, he became a coach. He found his way into the insurance and financial services world and continues to add value using the discipline and lessons from the gridiron, now in the boardroom and serving and helping his clients and C-suite executives. Really excited to have him on the platform. I want to welcome to the show the president of the Morrow Group, Mr. Diauntae Morrow. Diauntae, how are you doing, sir?
I'm doing great, man. Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure.
Hey, thank you once again, for being here. We were talking a little bit before we started recording just about, how it's really important for, African Americans to be present in this business and particularly, men like yourself, to be positive examples and taking your skills and showing that even if you started in one direction, you can apply those skills in the financial services industry as well and continue to add value. So before we even get started in the interview, I just want to say thank you for, the example that you're setting out there for everyone who is looking at you and those that'll continue to come after you.
I'm trying. I really try to I want to try to set an example. And, I've always looked at myself as a leader. So lead the way and create a path. And let some of my peers or some of the people that come after me or some of the young ladies, men and gentlemen that I mentor that, there's another way outside of picking up a basketball or football or baseball.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Now, this platform is really geared towards, individuals who might be exploring. Maybe they had an interview, with an organization. They're trying to figure out if this is going to be the step for them. Maybe they had a friend or a relative that was in the business, or maybe they're just, at a place in life where they're looking for something new and they see this conversation. They say, hey, look, I think that might be a direction I want to take. In our industry, there's a lot of different market segmentations, a lot of different paths and roads that we can go on. First, I just want to hear a little bit about, your area of specialty and what you guys actually do at the Morrow Group.
Well, we write just about everything except for health. We write life insurance, all P&C. If we have to specialize in anything, we specialize in working with high net worth individuals. I'm very familiar with that industry and that realm, seeing that I was a collegiate athlete. I had some professional opportunities and on the player side, and I also coached at a Division I college, Division I AA college. So those are where my connections and my love lies always with sports. And I have my circle. I have a very big and very unique circle of individuals that I'm familiar with, both on the insurance side and on the risk management side from an athlete standpoint. So that is what I say we would specialize in.
Gotcha. Okay. All right. So you're working with individuals, you're working with some life, you're working with some property and casualty. Many times people may feel like, hey, if I step into the space, I have to do, one thing or this thing. And it sounds like you kind of diversified, your firm so that you can cover a wide spectrum of clientele that walk through the door. Nothing left on the table, so to speak.
I think insurance is one of those industries where you don't necessarily have to lock yourself in one box. If you want to, by all means, if you find something you love and you find a niche, by all means, take full advantage of what you love and that niche. But for me, it's about being able to connect with my clients on all levels.
Yeah.
It's about being able to say, hey, I'm a one-stop shop here. It's about being an expert in the field, and to where some people think, you know, commercial insurance and personal insurance are two different beasts. I actually think they go hand in hand.
Yeah, interesting philosophy. I want to get into that as we continue into the conversation. One of the questions that I always like to ask, just to start at the beginning. And I think I know the answer to this one, but I'm going to ask it anyway. So, okay. Growing up, no one thinks about becoming an insurance agent, as a child. Not anyone that I've met, right? So, correct. what was your dream occupation when you were growing up, when you were young?
My dream occupation was to be a professional NFL player, to be a professional athlete. That was my dream. That was my goal. That was my passion from about the age of maybe 8 to 25, probably.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And I know prior to entering the industry, you were coaching as well. So
yes, sir.
Can you take me back, like from the beginning, and kind of bring me up to how you got to this point here, starting? I mean, you can even start at 8 and say, hey, I played my little league. I blew everybody out. Now, I continue to move up. Kind of take us on that journey, please.
I'm not going. I won't give you the brown sugar or how I fell in love with hip hop story. But I grew up. I grew up in the inner city of Cleveland, and that was quote unquote our way out. To play a sport, to give yourself an extra opportunity to get out of the inner city. To create something bigger and better of yourself. For a long time, I was locked in that mind frame of, hey, you're gonna get yourself, out of the inner city, but the only way you can do it is by playing football. So I put my all into it. I put my all into football, and I kept that dream, and I fought hard to make sure I provided myself with some extra opportunities alongside the support of many of my family and friends. And what the first experience to where my eyes kind of widened was my transition from being at an inner city elementary school to I went to St. Edward High School, which is it's an all-boys private school, but it's a very diverse private school. And we like to say the cream of the crop goes there. And that was my first experience to where I actually seen like, hey, you don't have to actually be an NFL. You don't have to be a professional athlete to actually make money. The guys that wear the suits make more money than the guys that wear the jerseys. Because a lot of my classmates, man, I mean, literally, I caught the bus. My bus ride every day for the first 2.5 years of my high school career was 1 hour and 30 minutes. Wow. That was my bus ride every day. I remember it vividly. I would catch the 326 from 123rd and St. Clair all the way. It would take me 1.5 hours to get to school. It was one bus ride, but I mean, it was a journey every day, there and back. It was 1 hour, and so 3 hours out of my day consisted of me riding on public transportation. But during that time frame, I met and networked with a lot of great people. Some of them are still my mentors today. But it brought my horizon because a lot of my classmates were riding around with Range Rovers and Lincolns and Cadillacs and brand new Jeeps, and they lived in the suburbs, and they had infinity pools, and they lived in $200,000, $350,000 homes, and they took vacations, and they had more than one home. They had a vacation home in Florida or California and things of that nature, where I was just like, hey, what is your dad doing? And it's like, oh yeah, hey, he's in the business world. Like the only people I know that make that kind of money are you're either you're a professional athlete or you're a drug dealer. and that, that's how I grew up. But being at St. Ed's, it was a life-changing experience for me, because it then let me know that, hey, it's okay to have a plan B.
Yeah.
Because initially my plan B was my plan A, and we're not going to stop until we make it to plan A. So I train hard every day. People don't know this, but when you train to be a professional athlete, it's you lose a lot of your childhood. You miss out on family outings, but it's that sacrifice you make to actually get to where you need to be. Whenever you want to be successful, it's going to be, you're going to have to sacrifice a lot of things, but specifically when you want to when you're striving to be a professional athlete to play in the NFL, well, first you got to become a Division I athlete. Mm-hmm. Then that was my dream anyways, to become a Division I athlete. I conquered that goal. I wanted to become at least a 2-year starter. I conquered that goal as well. But the higher up you go, the harder it is to be successful, because literally 1% of all collegiate athletes or collegiate football players make it to the NFL. It's literally only 1%. So that percentage is very low. So your success rate is very minimal. So you have to be the best of the best. In order to do that, you have to work hard. You got to eat. It's not a job. It's not something you do in your spare time. It's a lifestyle. And still to this day, because of my experience, as a collegiate athlete and as a coach, I bring that in the insurance industry. My competitive nature, my tenacity, my will and want to be successful, and to make sure that I accomplish all my dreams in this industry, and to make sure that I can help and lead other individuals in accomplishing their dreams in this industry. That's my passion.
Yeah.
That's what I want to make sure that, that I'm continuously creating a path for others, while also continuing to grow as a mentor to some, of course, as a father to my 2 boys, and to my clients as well.